Welcome back to the I Want to Save Money YouTube channel. I am Miss Amelia J, and I have finally finalized my 2026 planner lineup. So I made a video breaking down my notebook and planner lineup, and some things changed. So the first couple things are exactly the same. So this is a $4 notebook that I bought. I don't want to show you everything because it does have some personal things in here now. But all of the dividers are like this light color, clear plastic, which I think is really nice. The paper's super thin, which I don't mind for just a notebook. I don't like that for planners too much. But for just general note taking, it's fine. This is for brain dumping, a future log, and YouTube video ideas. Then we have my budget planner, which I have shown you before. So basically, this is a 2022 repurposed happy planner. So I've got 2 folders. I will probably switch out what I keep in here. I've got a notes section here at the front. That's where I'm going to put all notes on the savings plan, the credit card goals and plans, anything else I want to track. I have a purchase planning chart, all that kind of stuff. And then for every tab, I just have the month and then notes pages. So I budget by paycheck, so that's what those note pages are for. So these 2 things are the exact same from my first video. Now this is where we get, and this is where things kind of changed. So I was so excited to order a 7x9 vertical columns plum paper planner. Now originally, my Laurel Denise was going to be a combination of YouTube planning and lifestyle planning. So first I decided I did not want to go with Laurel Denise for that purpose. I wanted to use the vertical columns for YouTube. And then after that decision, I also decided I wanted lifestyle to be separate in general. Then there was a shipping issue, which I am still trying to resolve. It's not Plum Paper's fault. They did everything they could. They were actually a huge help to make sure that my other orders did not end up in the same situation. But long story short, I did not get the 7x9 vertical columns planner. And I did not get it by the time I wanted to move in. So I was just like, okay, if I get the planner at this point, I can repurpose it for next year or something. I am moving in today, which I did. And I do not repurpose things often. I do not create my own stuff. I had a little bullet journaling phase, and I kind of liked the creativity of it, but I'm the type of person that feels like my stuff never turns out right. I am actually super proud of what I came up with this. So the brand name is Oboo, O-B-O-O. They had a little thing on the front with the artist name. I don't remember their name, but I think this is so, so pretty. I definitely wanted something that was not just plain, or a lot of sketchbooks will have like the image of someone's hand painting a picture, which I don't want that as my planner cover. So I'm super glad I found it, and I'm super glad I found it in this shape. The only downside to me is that it's only 80 pages. So I got 2 of them because I was afraid of running out of space. I may need to hop into the next one for the last month, but let me just show you what I've done. So first of all, here on the inside, got this cute little design here. And this is my YouTube tracker. I'm basically going to be tracking uploads for the entire year at the front of this notebook. And then this is exactly what I wanted. So basically it's still the vertical columns. I took my ruler and I tried to do 1-inch lines, and that was a little bit tight. So I don't know the exact measurement of these lines, but I shortened it but I did just a little bit less than the 1 inch, and it was perfect. So basically, just under the days, I will notate anything I want to write. I rarely script the entire video, but if there's something that's research heavy or involves a lot of specific quotes or information, then I want to write something out. Then we have film edit upload, and I just kind of move the sticky notes to what days I'm filming, what days I'm editing, what days I'm uploading. A lot of the YouTube stuff changes at the last minute. That's why I want to use sticky notes so much. So it's very easy if something changes. I don't have to scratch everything out on a whole day and rewrite something somewhere else. It looks so sloppy. This is just so easy if I just want to move these over. And then I still have a little bit of room at the bottom to either decorate or make some other notes. Then over here, this is what I have set up for January 2026. I've got my ideas for both channels. I'm going to put my stats down here, and I've got my 2 goals. And then we go into the next month. And I've kind of done just a little bit, and then really what I like to do is basically go to my upload day, put down the sticky note, then figure out, okay, from there, well, what day makes most sense for me to edit the video, which I want to be at least several days before the upload, so I have plenty of time to finalize the thumbnail I want to use, get my description set up, all that kind of stuff. Then I can figure out from there which day I want to actually film it. So that's how I'll be using this. I am really happy with how this turned out. I'm actually really excited to use this. This was kind of a desperate move, and when I bought it, I was like, I have this idea, but I don't know how it's going to work in real life. I am thrilled with this. So very excited I got that. Very unhappy with the shipping situation. Amazon customer service is absolutely horrific. Anyways, so then we have this from Plum Paper Planner. So as you can see, I customized it. I guess I was drunk when I did this because I was going for lifestyle. I don't know why I put home and life. I know I was conscious when I made these selections, so I don't know. Lifestyle. This is supposed to say lifestyle. And then these are just words that I felt like I needed to put at the bottom because these are my reminders. Dream, plan, execute, adjust. Because I feel like for each of these words, one of them is where I fail. I dream too big or too small. I plan poorly, or I don't plan at all. I execute poorly, or I don't execute at all, or I fail to adjust. I just felt like those are the reminders I needed, especially since there are so many things that I want to change about my lifestyle and about my habits and, achieving certain goals in my life that I've been putting off and putting off. So this, I think, is just an excellent reminder for me to have. So now let's go ahead and just look through it. So we've got 2026 at a glance. I really don't like covering up these pages, but I also kind of feel like maybe I should, just because I hate to waste them because I don't usually look at them. Usually I have a wall calendar and I don't really need to look ahead that much. So we'll see. I love having this space here for each month, but I also especially love that you have this extra place with 12 blocks as well. So if you want to do something specific to the month here, you have this page here. But for these pages, and don't get me wrong, I may not use these, but I love the option. I love that you have 12 other boxes that you can choose whatever you want to. Like maybe this is for your goals and this is for something else you want to track. So I like the fact that we have those options. Then you have like a plain notes page. Looks like something stuck on the page just a little bit, but it's not too bad. I love the color of this first divider. So pretty. I was a little bit hesitant to go with the colorful just because I don't remember if this is colorful or modern. But anyways, with these, like, because of the material on it, you have to use like certain types of pens. You can't use the same like gel pens and stuff. At least that's what I've been told. I've never had this kind before. I also prefer the neutral dashboard layout. I think if I'm going to use it at all, that's just a lot more functional. So I will probably not do anything with these. The notes pages, I'm really big on note taking these days, so I probably will get my use out of those. I love the nice, simple monthly, the little sidebar. I like having the upcoming month down there. And I went with the quad layout. The only thing I'm not crazy about is to-do list. I really don't need to-do list on every single day because some days aren't necessarily going to have a to-do list. But if you don't select customization options, which I think is like $5.95 or $6.95 or something, it's not a crazy amount, but in order to customize your own headers and stuff like that, it is an extra charge, and I didn't really want to customize anything else. But I would have liked to select that this not be there, or possibly if there was another option. You also have the option to have lines on here. I wanted color on and lines off. So this color is throughout the planner. It's all throughout here. You see it in here. It's on the headers on the monthly spread, down here, up here. And then, of course, you see the color in these sections here. So I really like the colors that we have in this planner. I think it looks awesome. This is really pretty. I actually really like the neutral as well. But this is just a fun way to switch it up, I think. Plus the quad layout is just, it's kind of something you don't normally see. Like you typically see most commonly, especially with Plan With Me's and stuff, a horizontal or a vertical. So I like the fact that it's a little bit different, but I do have some solid ideas for how I'm going to actually use it. And then at the back, we have the folder, 2027, passwords page, contacts page, dotted page, and then your last day for December. There's just one thing I forgot to mention that I really love about Plum Paper. So on this weekly spread, you can see that we end on the 31st, and the days that go to the next month are grayed out. But if we go to the beginning of the next month, we have that same week. Sometimes I disagree with the way other planners choose to cut off the week, so I love the fact that I have the option here to decide which month I want the week in. So that is my lifestyle planner, not my home and life planner, my lifestyle planner. Very happy with it. I can't wait to move into it. This is probably, I don't know if it's the one I'm most excited to use because I'm pretty happy with the way my fully customized sketchbook turned out. But there's so much that I want to tackle this year, and I want to kind of increase that by the month as far as what habits I'm trying to change and adjustments I want to make in my lifestyle. So as excited as I am for the color and the fact that I got a quad layout and just the fact that I have this planner in general, I'm just very excited about how I plan to use my lifestyle planner. So this channel is really not about Plan With Me's and planners. So you probably will not see a whole lot of Plan With Me's in it, but I may occasionally post something just because I think that's still kind of fun. And then finally, we have one more classic happy planner. So this is going to be a memory planner, which I've never done before. So this is something a little bit different. And I think the main reason is it's like everything else I have, yeah, there are some cutesy things I can do with it, but it's really strictly functional. Maybe strictly is the wrong word, but they're essentially functional. So if I have a lot to do that week, decoration just can't really come into the picture if there's not enough space for it. And it is what it is. But I also still have that need for paper crafting and things like that. I just really enjoy it. So this is going to be a memory keeper. So one thing I'm thinking about doing, for example, I don't know what I'm going to do with these pages. I'm thinking of using washi or something to cover this, and then just like doing some little journal for each month of just kind of my thoughts of how the month went, maybe. That's one idea that I have. And then for here, I was thinking of getting like really small pictures and then just putting like the 4 or 5 favorite 2026 pictures here. But then I kind of feel like, am I really going to wait until 2027 is over and then do the same thing on the back? You know what I mean? Like it's not cool if it's not even, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, so the months, I'm not sure I'm going to do anything with the actual monthly layout. What I'm wanting to do is, there is some kind of cat fight going on in the hallway. It looks like one cat is trying to get into the room, but they don't have their hall pass, so they're out of luck. Anyways, they are such drama queens. It's crazy. So anyways, what I'm thinking of doing is I'm probably going to do like 4x6 pictures, maybe some 3x5s, picking one side or the other, basically whichever day it's closest to. I prefer Sunday start, but since this is not a functional planner and it is something I'll be using retroactively, it doesn't really matter. So put in the picture closest to whatever day it lines up with. And let's say I have a picture up here. So I'm going to write notes in here about, why I picked this picture for my week, what I was doing, why it's important to me, why this moment stood out, etc. And then the other side will be for journaling and decoration. And if there isn't a lot of stuff that I want to journal, then I've got plenty of decorative space if I want to do that. And I can play around with, which side I put the picture on because I want it to be closest to which day. Sometimes it's going to be on the top, sometimes it can be on the bottom. So there's so much I can do to kind of play around with that. This is probably my favorite divider in the whole book. Some of the last ones I'm not too crazy about. There were a few other ones I liked a little bit better, but something like a dashboard layout I don't think would really work for what I'm trying to do. Another thing to mention is I'm probably only going to be getting pictures like once a month. So basically I'm going to go through well, right here. So basically, I'm going to go through with Post-its for each week and, just put something about the picture that I want to use or the couple of pictures I want to use. Then sometime in July is when I actually get the pictures. Then I'm just going to go back and actually fill them out afterwards. So there's no pressure to get it done at a certain point in time. It's not going to be part of my regular functional planning. This is just purely for fun. I didn't really need this one. So this was just for me. Basically, I used to have diaries and go from one to the next. I used to do scrapbooking all the time, and I lost all of those things, and I lost my yearbooks and my diaries, my scrapbooks. So it's taken me years to get to a place where I feel like I can add those things back into my life. And I kind of started like a little mini scrapbook, and I don't know. I'm not really ready for a full scrapbook yet, even though I really want to. So this is kind of my reintroduction to scrapbooking, and instead I'm using a planner instead of a scrapbook. So this is more for fun, but it's a little deeper than that for me. So hopefully that will be something I really enjoy using. But since it's not functional, if at any point I want to stop or, come back to it, I always can. So I'm pretty excited about my lineup. It is finally finalized. As far as the products that I still need to get, at this point, they'll have to be repurposed for next year's. I would still like to get the stickers and the stencil that I bought from Plum Paper at the very least. I'd like the accessories I paid for, but we'll see what happens with that. Amazon is just a terrible company. So yeah, that's my planner lineup. So even though things did not go the way that I hoped, I actually think this is really the stack that I need to be using in my life. So all things considered, I am really happy with where I'm at.